Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for January 20th, 2026. We do maintain additional graphics at tpatw.com, and we maintain a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our storefront support the activities of patient weather. Looking at the surface map, for Tuesday, we have high pressure firmly anchored over the Carolinas. We have high pressure trying to dig down southeastward through Idaho, a little bit of a low pressure center trying to develop here in Kansas, and that is mainly because we have that warm, moist air trying to push its way into southern Texas. Looking at our vitality index, and this is an independent measure of each of the different weather elements that might cause some weather stress, and you'll see we have a lot of things going on here in that Kansas or central plains area, little bit of stuff going on up here in the northern plains, and lots of activity going on from Florida clear on up the eastern seaboard, but really picking up significantly in the middle Atlantic states and across New England. Looking at pressure change, this is the element that will impact many individuals. There's that low pressure center from eastern New Mexico across the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, Kansas, and to eastern Nebraska, and then up the easternmost sections of the Dakotas. High pressure, another issue, from central and northern Florida, across Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, all the way up to Michigan, and then all the way across New England. And of course, this takes in those Canadian cities, mainly in this case from Windsor all the way to Quebec. Looking at temperature change. Kind of interesting because most of the country sits in a frigid freeze all the way from the Rockies to the eastern seaboard, and you can see still some fresh cold air flowing into New England, but finally a little bit of warming temperatures trying to push into the central plains, trying to work its way into the western Ohio Valley and up toward the western lakes, and mainly this is because of that southern flow trying to push up through Texas. The dew point temperature map reflects that a lot more strongly, and you can see with the dew points falling drastically, temperatures falling here again in New England, but the dew point temperatures definitely trying to surge up through Texas all the way up to plains. The vapor pressure map trying to show much the same thing, but not with quite the vigor that we see in the dew point temperature change. Looking at POI, which is our measure of the change in oxygen availability in the atmosphere, you can see we have a risk of migraine here in Northern California. We have a risk of migraine in southwest Texas, Midland, Odessa, Big Spring, and then in central Montana and eastern Wyoming. We also then pick up that risk of migraine picking here in Georgia, across the Carolinas, up through Virginia, West Virginia, eastern Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, all of New England, and of course those Canadian cities right along the border, and really on into Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. You'll note we have that risk of asthma and arthritis sitting here across central and southern Florida, and then picking here up in eastern New Mexico, eastern Colorado, all the way up the plains, across the Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley, and holding here just to the westernmost lakes, the Michigan Upper Peninsula, but most elevated, most significant here from the Texas Panhandle across Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, into central Illinois, and then significantly again here across North Dakota. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated. And if you